I never dreamt big. I didn't want to be pilot flying a plane. I didn't want to be a great politician or a great painter or anything. I wanted to work in a library. I thought it was the most fascinating job in the world. And books, when you open them, they smell so nice. There's nothing. It's a very happy place for me. My name is Anuradha. I'm Indian, but I live in Cyprus now. And this was a sort of a long-term wish of mine, which came true last year. But I lived all my life in India, except for a couple of times when I went abroad to study. And I am a single parent. I have a daughter, and she lives in England. She's a vet and a wonderful person, very good at her job. Now, she knew what to do immediately. It took me a long time to figure out what I could do. I think some dreams don't come true, in which case one should always have a plan B. And if you stay in just one track, it may not happen. I had a plan B. If I couldn't get to Cyprus, I would leave New Delhi, where I have lived for most of my adult life, and I would move to Kolkata, which is a lovely city, a favorite city of mine. So, as I said, some dreams don't come true, and your goals sometimes do have to change to fit in with those dreams. Yes. Not at all. It depends from person to person. I mean, I would never say I'm going to climb Mount Everest because I get giddy falling off a stool. But for some people, that's what they want to do, and they go ahead and do it. There's nothing impossible. If you dream and you feel you can, why not? Everybody's lost, I think. There are very few people who know what they want to do, whether they're from school or even university. People are lost for years, and they just happen to get lucky and then decide this is what I like. Very few people are born with the idea that they're going to be great artists or great musicians. Sometimes that sort of thing is instilled in them. That's part of their nature. But for most of us, I think it takes a while to find yourself. And there's nothing to worry about. Nothing to be ashamed of. Sometimes you even set your dreams aside, maybe in order to help your family, help yourself financially. These things also matter. Yes. Really, speaking for myself, when I left school, I went to university and I studied political science. And it really did nothing for me, but I made some wonderful friends. And then after university, when I started working, I worked in a bank, which was really not for me. So sometimes by a process of elimination, you get to where you want to be. And it was only when I went to Mumbai and somebody offered me a job in a newspaper that I was absolutely thrilled. And to this day, I'd say it was a very lucky break for me. I loved the work and I was very happy in my time there. I don't have too many dreams left, I think. But, since I've come here, I think one silly little dream, call it that, I would love to be surrounded by books, and I would like to volunteer at a library or a bookstore and live out my days like that. Yeah, I think that would be my favorite thing to do, and that is a dream of mine over here. Well, again, like I said, I've been very lucky all my life in that my parents supported me financially, and I would say emotionally, allowed me to do what I did. But then I didn't do anything bad. I mean, I didn't sort of run off with a band or something like that, which would have been considered a very bad thing to do for a woman in India. But I did, so I can't say for myself that I would have to do something for my financial stability, because that never occurred. But I do believe that for people who have to make this dreadful choice, it would mean a life of great hardship, pursuing a dream, and you must be prepared to see that through before success comes. And if you have a family, then perhaps you would think for that family too, and providing a roof over their heads and yourself. So then you would think of a stable job. Yes. I suppose I have achieved one of my dreams, which is to come here. I came here on a holiday 29 years ago and thought it was a lovely place, very different from the rest of Europe, in that it was a kind of a stepping stone between East and West. And it had the hospitality of the East and the more laid-back atmosphere with somewhat efficient ways of working of the West. So I thought it would be a nice place to settle. I mean, I don't see myself living in a place like London. It's so busy, I'd probably just, get run over trying to cross the street. So I'm happy here. It's funny, it was very easy coming here. It just took a little longer than I expected, but I think the government here welcomed me in a way, and I got the flat, all of which took months longer than I expected. And I did have a few moments where I thought, oh my God, I've burnt my bridges in India. I don't have a house to live in there anymore. My flat over here is not ready. Where am I going to stay? What am I going to do? But as I said, there's always plan B in my life. And I just said, I'll go to Cal. So. I'd never thought of things as setbacks, possibly things that happen. I did get divorced when I was very young, and I suppose that in itself is a difficult thing to face, but one was young and optimistic, and I thought it's better to get out of a bad marriage than to keep staying in one. I don't think it would have been good for my daughter. I don't think it would have been good for any of us. So what other people saw as a setback was really no setback to me at all. And as I said, I've been very fortunate in that I've not had to worry financially. So I haven't lost anything. I had a supportive father. He was an extremely kind man and thought his daughters should be happy wherever they are, whatever they do. So he was magnificent in the way he dealt with us and cared for us. I did face some sort of social stigmas or something, but I didn't care about that. Yes. And I think having a sense of humor helps. You can deal with a lot more by, really, and also perspective. If you think of yourself as very important, then everything bad happens to you. But if you think you're a small grain of sand in a large seashore, then things happen to everybody else too. And I think far worse has happened to other people. I've never really thought of myself that much. I think to remain cheerful, to remain steadfast in whatever you do that you believe in, and that there is a God up there, and I think He does help in many ways. If you keep the faith, whatever your faith is, it does help. It brings you comfort, and it makes you believe in a better tomorrow. So your challenges don't seem so bad if you sleep on them. Yes. Actually, to tell you the truth, I'm quite ambitionless. When I worked for a newspaper, I was offered the job of a senior editor, which I turned down because my daughter was very young. It would have meant staying in the office a lot longer and working different hours and things, which I didn't want to do. So in a way, I kind of gave up being, feeling self-important and wanting to achieve that goal. I was very happy where I was because I found that because I didn't pose a threat to anybody, people came to me voluntarily and asked for my help, which I was honored to do. And they're extremely intelligent and very well educated, informed correspondents who would ask me to check their copy, and it was extremely flattering. Maybe it was, and it wasn't a part of my work as such, but it was nice to know that whatever role I fulfilled in the office, that it seemed to work, and people seemed to value me. That was the main thing. So. I would tell them to maybe dream a little more, and that they would happen depending on what they're dreaming of. There are things that everybody should dream, really. It's what keeps us going. It's what makes us want to wake up in the morning when there is nothing. So a challenge is a great thing. I would definitely tell them to keep at it, and that things would happen. Maybe not 100%, but and to be satisfied with even 70%. Yes. I would like to say that your expectations should not be very judgmental. It should not make comparisons that are odious. You should be happy, and you should try and make yourself happy. I think that's important. And the other thing is that any young person in any situation, I think the art of meeting and talking to other people is very important. That's far more important than, just finding out what you need to do. Don't isolate yourselves, I would tell young people. You must be, and you will get to know things, and you may find you don't want to go to another place at all, that this place is just as lovely as any other place.